hear me? Can you 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 hear me? That is the question. We are live, guys. We are live. We are live. What the F is going on with my freaking live? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Check, check, microphone. Okay, so we got the audio back working. All right. We have a big show for you tonight. Very, very big show. We have sports bet news versus sports bet pros, a battle of experience. The teens are gambling, and it is a wave. It's a tsunami coming towards the UFC and all sports. What it means, because now we've got crypto and we've got prediction markets, so people can gamble in real time. People can gamble unregulated. I'm noticing some trends. UFC had a big issue where this past weekend, Bruce Buffer announced the wrong name at the end, and the prediction markets flipped to like 99%. So somebody bet that odd, and they made a bunch of money because they realized that he had made an error and said the wrong name, which leads into speculation of, was it on purpose? What if he decided to do that and somebody was, like, hypothetically, like as an imaginary scenario, what if someone was announcing the names and they decided to have like their cousin put in a bet when they announced the wrong name, and then like, now we can start to see where this could potentially go and what issues it could cause due to the fact that crypto is allowing for a lot of deregulation and gambling. I'm sure it's not just happening in the UFC, but in all sports. I just happen to keep my ear to the streets because I coach at Extreme Couture, and the kids on the team, all the teenage boys, are running parlays. So, anyways, we have a big show. We're going to get into all that. We're going to talk Jake Paul, MVP. We're going to talk Craig Jones' $10 million offer for a gambling, for a jiu-jitsu tournament. We're going to get crazy tonight, guys. So we have a very, very big show. I'm your host, King David MMA. I'm a professional MMA champion, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I'm talking extremely quickly right now because I was just on the live and there was no sound. So we got the sound back, so I'm trying to catch everybody up. So as people hop into the live, ideally, everybody will be back to where we started when we left off, even though they may not have heard me. So some people were not getting audio. But now the audio's fixed, guys, because I'm a tech genius. That's what we do here. All right, just playing. Kind of, not really. But yeah, so if you've already subscribed, then I like to have a conversation. So make sure you hit the chat. And if you are new here, make sure you do subscribe and tap the notifications, because I'd rather have a conversation. I'm looking to connect. I'm looking to meet like-minded people. And if you hop in the chat, I got the chat set up behind this screen that I'm talking into right now. I got a chat back there. We got it going. All right, guys. So I'd rather have a dialogue rather than a monologue. Shout out to Fight Circus, home of the freak show fights, guys. If you are headed to Thailand, make sure you catch dinner and some fights at Fight Circus at Candy Beach Club. They have white sand beaches, private beach, and they've got Fight Circus fights going on there every Friday. So hit Fight Circus up at Fight Circus on Instagram and get more information on that. And then tell your coach, Coach, I love you. You teach great classes. Man, go to studiomillions.com. They will pack your gym full of students who stay, pay, and refer. Send your coach to studiomillions.com. They will absolutely love you for it. It takes zero effort on your part to let them know about Studio Millions, and then you will literally change their life. So it's a win-win for everybody, guys. But yeah, so now that we got the business out of the way, let's get right into it. I've noticed a shocking trend at the gym, which is all the teenage dudes on the team, all the little dudes that want to like come up and learn how to fight and they want to be fighters someday. When I was their age, I was talking about something very different. They're all talking about sports betting. And now the reason why I titled this Sports Bet Noobs versus Sports Bet Pros, a battle of experience, is because two things are happening. One, a lot of these dudes are getting fucking cooked. Their parlays are just degeneracy, right? They're shooting for the moon, whereas someone who's a little bit more seasoned won't do that. But what I have noticed is that the more seasoned sports bettors don't understand the opportunity that's out there, guys. So if you guys have ever considered potentially betting on sports, there are some glitches in the matrix that are happening right now. And I'm not saying what to do. This isn't gambling advice. This is not financial advice. I'm just saying some things that I've observed by being around the youth and around the crypto space and around the prediction markets at some opportunities that may present themselves. But those opportunities for the person that wants to potentially bet might be big challenges for the sports organizations, for the NFL, for the NBA, for UFC, because it is the wild, wild west out there again, guys. We got Felony Charles Bennett, MMA legend, in the chat. So the Fight Circus shirt that I just put up is actually a Felony Charles Bennett shirt. So if you guys want that, then hit me up, hit Felony up. If you want to hit his Cash App, hit that. So yeah, man. Felony says that these fight promotions ain't paying enough, so hit his Cash App. Guys, shout out to Felony. But yeah, man. So what I've noticed is this, right? The youth are adapting very, very quickly to technology. And we've got prediction markets like Poly Market is now sponsoring the UFC. VeChain, which is a different crypto platform, is sponsoring the UFC as well. But what people may not have noticed is that, for instance, in this past weekend's UFC, that Bruce Buffer said the wrong name. So the prediction market flipped to 99 to 1, but you could bet against the underdog odds for the guy who literally won the fight, but they announced the wrong name. You get what I'm saying? So they announced name A. So all the prediction market said that guy was the winner, but the other guy was actually the winner. So anybody that was aware that the other guy actually won the fight, but Bruce said the wrong name, could have gotten in on the 99 to 1 odds and then flipped like $1,000 into like 99 bands. In fact, one person did this. I think they took, it was like something like $375 at the time they got in, and they flipped it to like $68,000, borderline within like 30 seconds. So this is where the big issue comes in. One, when we're talking sports betting noobs versus sports betting pros, the pros may not be experienced in this, but these teens and these up and coming crypto kids, they understand that the prediction markets are a lot more volatile, right? If you go bet at a sports book at like a casino in Vegas or an online sports book, they have a lot of stuff built in so that this doesn't happen, right? Like they're not playing around. The house always wins. They're going to adjust their odds accordingly, right? But and they don't adjust in quite as real time. So because of cryptocurrency now, and if you were savvy in technology, you can find these glitches in the matrix, which gets kind of crazy. So while the teenagers at the gym may not have the strongest parlays and they're getting absolutely obliterated, what the as noobs to the sports betting game, what they have is they have the crypto and the technology experience, which allows them to hypothetically exploit gaps like this name situation where they said the wrong name. Does that make sense? Right. So I find that to be very fascinating because what other glitches could be out there? What if you knew a college referee? What if you knew a college women's volleyball player? Like how down the rabbit hole can it get? And then it's not betting, right? Because there's so many individuals now that let's talk about it like points of failure, right? Like let's say you want to have a structured system of up and up legitimate gambling. Where where would the points of failure be? You know, in the NBA, oh, the ref got paid off. Okay, well, now you vet the refs and you check their refereeing history and you ask them why they made a call a certain way. And there's some checks and balances in place, right? But that's like one of the biggest leagues on the planet. What happens when you start getting more and more granular and people can bet on fucking surfing? You know what I'm or whatever, right? Like skateboarding, um, you know, it, it can lead one to think that there's a lot of ways to exploit the system. Now, if you were hypothetically to combine this with AI, which some people are doing, AI is getting very good at being able to predict things. And AI can also find imbalances between what something is. I'm not saying to do this. I'm just trying to let you guys know, as someone that's out here, what I'm observing. And then you can grasp this information so you understand the landscape as we move forward in the future. I'm talking about gambling, but this can be applied to a lot of areas in life. For example, a prediction market. Let's say it's on a 5 minute, will the price of Bitcoin go up or down? And let's say there's an AI robot that moves faster than the prediction market moves. So the robot hypothetically can address the actual price, let's say a millisecond faster. It can then instantaneously place a bet with 1 second left on the fluctuation of Bitcoin price. And because it moves faster, it can go out and get the information before the prediction market adapts. So if you guys don't understand what I'm saying, that some people would say this is a free money glitch, right? I'm not saying do that. This is not financial advice. I'm just saying that that's what we have right now. This is current technology. There are people doing this. There are people who made money because the wrong name was said at the UFC and they were able to place the bet fast enough. There are teenagers who are already sports betting like crazy. So there's an entire wave of technology coming, guys. And now some people will say that's a good thing. Some people will say that's a bad thing. This leads us into questions of regulation and things of that nature. Also, not just in the UFC, not just in sports betting, not just in crypto, but in AI as a whole. Elon Musk says within the next, let's say, 10 years, that there's going to not only be universal basic income, there's going to be universal high income. And there's going to be so many robots that are doing tasks that humans would usually do that there's going to be necessary, like no need to work, right? Like the future's getting kind of crazy, right? And then it's like at that point, then what are we doing, guys? Right? Are we all just fucking water painting? You know what I mean? Watercoloring all day? Are we just doing martial arts all day? I do that anyway, right? I do that anyway. I do martial arts all day anyway. I'm very, very fortunate to be able to do that. But like this started getting me thinking about these tangents, right? Like Elon is saying that he's going to put solar panels in space to power the AI, and that the solar panels are going to somehow send lasers back to the planet, and that's how the AI will be powered, right? What if there's clouds, guys? You know what I mean? Like what if all our robots are powered by lasers from space and there's clouds? Then what? You know what I mean? So anyway, some people would say that the regulation needs to come in and start to regulate the gambling and all that situation. And some people would say that by the time that the regulation were to take place, we're already going to be so advanced as a civilization that there's no longer being a need for currency and that we're going to be moving on to something else. So in the future, allegedly, the only thing that's going to matter is energy and power. And I'm getting crazy out there, right? Today's Monday, I figured let's just start the week off a little different, right? We could talk Craig Jones putting up $10 million for a grappling tournament. We could talk Jake Paul paying Nate Diaz $10 million, right? And we could do that. We could do that right now, right? But before we got into the actual MMA stuff, I want to have a little fun and get a little speculation going on. But you know, I'm definitely not telling you to go gamble. I'm definitely not telling you to go get a bot that's gonna outbid the Bitcoin price. I'm just saying, if you do that, can you guys hit the chat and report back to me and let me know how that goes for you? And if you get like really up, man, you know, your boy, just shoot me 10% for putting you on. You know what I mean? Just a little, just a small piece, guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a greedy guy. I'm just giving you the information that's out there at the brink, the cutting edge of what's happening in sports betting and crypto today, right? So, speaking of other big money plays, man, I guess Craig Jones is serious about this $10 million situation. So, to my understanding, there's going to be a grappling tournament, and he's putting up $10 million. And this is a direct attack against the UFC. Man, the UFC is taking shots from all sides right now. There's all this fighter pay issue going on, and all these promotions are like, I don't know if they're doing it intentionally, like they're paying extra to try and like they sense weakness in the market, they sense weakness in the UFC or something like, oh, dude, this is the leverage point we can attack because the UFC refuses to pay like more. Jake Paul is going to pay Nate Diaz $10 million, right? And then that's got everybody that I've talked to at the gym saying that they want to fight for MVP, and they're like, fuck the UFC. Now, is the UFC going to counter that? You would say, well, it would be smart to, right? But I believe the UFC will counter that, but only if Netflix and Jake Paul's MVP is a success. They'll only counter that if Craig Jones's CJI is a success, right? So I believe what's happening right now is we're in like a bit of a waiting game. The UFC is going to let these people burn cash to 99 to 1. Oh, hold on one second. But you could bet. I got the audio going in the background. The $100 odds. Guys, I was just telling you guys I was a technology genius, and now I got the audio playing. Let me mute this. All right, we got it muted. So I got the chat going on back here so I can read the chat, but my screensaver came on, so I went to move the mouse and then it turned the audio on, yo. So listen, guys, we're on a learning curve, but what I'm trying to get at is that the UFC is going to try and wait these people out. They're going to try and have them burn cash, and the UFC's opinion is hopefully these, people go out of business. Now, Craig Jones, yeah, felony. That's what I'm saying. For the second time, bro. For the second time. The earlier live was completely muted. And now this live, I've got audio in the background. Bro, you're supposed to be my YouTube live coach, bro. How do I not know this? I'm blaming you, my guy. Just playing. But let me see if I can do that thing you taught me last night, which was participants. No. Okay, that ain't it. I gotta switch the chat, right? You said make it so that it's man, I got felony over here. Listen, I'm giving him rounds for his bare knuckle fight, and he's giving me tips on these YouTube lives. I got a different interface on my phone, man. Let me pop this chat. Oh, wait. Okay. Top chat, live chat, none. Cancel. Okay. So anyway, guys, this is called learning how to use YouTube in real time. But yeah, so I'm excited for this MVP card. I heard a rumor that they are already beginning to plan another card. A big announcement will be coming soon. I can't discuss that on here because I don't have all the details. But hypothetically speaking, from a very, 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 very valid source, this is breaking news. They're already planning their next move. The next move is going to be huge. So do not expect this to be a one and done. They're already stoked. They're already moving forward. There is a huge I don't even want to hype this up like that, man. But like it's important that I'm honest with you guys. This announcement that's going to come out in the very near future is going to be so big. And we're going to refer back to this, and I'm going to say remember the huge announcement? That's what I'm going to be talking about. And yeah, when you guys hear this, it's going to freak you out. And yeah. Anyways, it's about to get real nuts. We're not only are we in the wild west of crypto, we're in the wild west of MMA right now because Netflix is going directly at the UFC The UFC is refusing to budge as of right now. And I feel like while the UFC has the market on these are the best fighters on the planet, fighting the best fighters on the planet, and everyone here's goal is to be a world champion, that's like, you guys remember a singer named Britney Spears? She wasn't the best singer on the planet. Do you guys know a chick named Taylor Swift? She's not the best singer on the planet. These are just the most popular singers on the planet. So the UFC is going to keep the lane of the best fighters on the planet. But in terms of entertainment, can Netflix come in with Jake Paul and secure the lane of the most popular fighters on the planet? Because they're in a different lane. They're not saying that they have the best fights ever. They're not saying that these are the absolute pinnacle of mixed martial arts athletes. What they're saying is, hey, we're in a numbers game, we're in an eyeballs game, and we're going to get more eyeballs and we're going to do more numbers than anything that anyone has ever seen in MMA before. The crazy part is, I believe them. Now, the question is this: is that more valuable to be in the popular lane than to be in the best athlete ever lane in terms of a promotional company? Would you rather have the most popular fighters, the Jake Pauls, or would you rather have the best fighters? Even though the best fighters might not get as many eyeballs as the most popular fighters. If you're paying out money, if the money's coming out of your checkbook, which way are you going? That's my question. So, anyways, guys, it's late as fuck here. Make sure you subscribe and tap the notifications. I'm gonna hop off this fucking live tonight. I want to get a little weird with you guys, so hopefully we got on to some weird tangents. But more so, I just wanted to be consistent because it got late as fuck. Has some shit I had to handle around here. Handle business, right? And now, even though it's late as fuck, I want you guys to feel secure knowing that no matter what the fuck happens, I'm gonna hop on these fucking lives. I'm gonna post a video every fucking day. I love you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all that. Peace.